बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम अल्लाहुम्मा रब्बि ज़िदनी इल्मा सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम आमीन अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन. In this lecture, I will discuss the solution of P1 9709 component 11 of May-June 2020. I will use the solution of an outstanding student, Miss Sania Ejaz, of class 2022, the Lyceum. An important tip: read the questions carefully in order to extract the given informations properly. The sum of the first 9 terms of an AP is 117. This means S9 is 117. This is the first information, and with the help of this information you can form equation number 1, S9. This is the equation 1. Now the sum of the next 4 terms is 91, meaning the sum of first 9 is 117 and the sum of next 4 is 91, so 91. So this will give you the sum of first 13 terms, because 9 plus 4 makes 13. Therefore S13 is 117 plus 91. Now with the help of this information you can form the equation number 2, and by solving these two equations you can get the values of A and D. Question number 2. The coefficient of 1 upon x in this expansion is 74. Find the value of the positive constant k. Well, you just need to understand which particular term contains the coefficient 1 upon x. You can you have 2 or 3 options. You have 3 options. Number 1, you can expand this till the term 1 upon x, or you can use TR plus 1 formula in order to understand which particular term contains 1 upon x. Number 3, you can predict the term. So you have 3 options. Since this expansion is simple, so you can predict the term. So which is the fourth term, 5c3. 5c3 would contain coefficient 1 upon x. So if you will find 5c3, this is T4. So the fourth term contains 1 upon x. So when you will find T4 from this expansion, you will get this thing. And this is the formula of TR plus 1. So with the help of this formula, we can get the term which contains the coefficient of 1 upon x. Here 1 upon x, the term is second, T2. So you have option either go for the expansion, expand this. If you are not good at binomial, then the simplest option is expand the expansions. Expand this and get the terms which contains 1 upon x. And then take their sum, because we have positive sign here. So the sum of these two, 10k square plus this 16, 10k square plus negative 16 is 74. So by solving this equation we can get the positive value of k. It's mentioned k is positive. So you can use any method. Number 1, expansion, which is the simplest method. Expand this, and number 2, use this formula and get the value of r. Number 3, prediction. This student is very smart. She used the prediction method. She predicted the terms and then she used this formula and found the coefficients of 1 upon x in both the expansions. Question number 3. Each year, the selling price of a diamond necklace increases by 5%. This is GP. Whenever we have percentage, then the question is of GP. So R is increases means 105%. So your R will be 1.05. Price the year before. The selling price of the necklace in the year 2000 was 36,000. This is the first term, A. So A is this. This is R, increases 105%, which means 1.05, and this is the first term. Well, write down an expression for the selling price of the necklace. So this is for hence find the selling price in 2008. They are asking find, just write the expression for the nth term. So the formula of nth term of geometric is this. With the help of this formula, you can write the nth term. Equation for nth term. They are asking for n years, so you have to just write n here. You just need to change the formula. Just write n. N years means write n here. So after 8 years, 2008, we need price in 2008. So that means 8 years. So after 8 years, this will be the price. Give your answer up to 3 significant figures. Part 2. S10. The company that makes the necklace only sells one each year. Find the total. That means SN. 10 years. So S10. They are asking for find S10. So you just need to work for S10, and the formula is A Rn minus 1 R minus 1. You can even use this formula, 1 minus Rn 1 minus R. You can use any formula. Next question. The diagram shows the graph y is equal to f of x, and f of x is this. State the range of f. We find the range of trigonometric linear function in this way. We compare this with this standard equation. And then we write, since a is positive, therefore c plus a is the maximum value and c minus a is the minimum value of f of x. This is 2 and this is minus 1. So the range of this function is from minus 1 to 2 inclusive, because domain is inclusive. That's the range. This is c minus a, and this is c plus a. This is a way to write the range of linear trigonometric function. A function g is such that g of x, f of x plus k, where k is a positive constant. The x-axis is a tangent to the curve. Well, this number is negative 1. Make sure that you understand this thing well. This is minus 1 and this is 2, according to this range. And when you will bring this curve 1 unit up, when you will bring this curve here 1 unit up, then x-axis will be tangent to this curve. Let me sketch this. So when you will bring this curve 1 unit up, this curve will be here. Meaning x-axis will be tangent to this curve. So you just need to write plus 1 here. So the value of k must be 1, meaning you have to translate this curve 1 unit up. The x-axis is tangent to the curve. That means this diagram. State the value of k, 1, because you shifted this curve 1 unit up. So the value of k is 1, and hence describe the Fourier transformation. This is the vertical translation of vector 0, 1. So just write translation vector 0, 1, and the value of k is 1. Next part. State the equation of the curve, which is the reflection of this. This is so simple about the x-axis. Whenever you reflect anything about x-axis, this is the structure of the new equation. The resultant equation will be minus f of x. So you just need to multiply this equation by negative sign. You just need to put f of x here. When you will put f of x here, you will get this thing. Make sure you remember this structure. Whenever you reflect anything about the x-axis, you change the sign of y-coordinate. You multiply your original equation by negative sign to get the equation of the resultant function. Next question. The equation of a line is this, and the equation of a curve is this. Given that line is tangent, that means b square minus 4ac equals to 0. So first you need to equate both the y's in order to get the standard quadratic equation. This is the standard quadratic equation. Now substitute ABC into this discriminant. So when you will substitute ABC here, the values of ABC here, you will get this thing. Express m in terms of c. Given in state m is equal to negative 4, meaning m is minus 4. So you need to put minus 4 here. When you will put minus 4 here, you will get minus 4x square cx minus 16. You will get this equation. Now find the values of c for which line intersect. Intersect means b square minus 4ac greater than 0. So by using this discriminant onto this equation, we have this c square greater than 256. Now c square minus 16 square is greater than 0. So by factorizing this thing, we have c minus 16, c plus 16. Since we have greater signs, so we have to shade these sides of the curve. Therefore, according to this these shadings or this diagram, we can write the solution of this inequality in this way. C is less than minus 16 or c greater than 16. C is greater than 16 or c is less than minus 16. Make sure you label c here. (16) square is 256. Next question. Given that G2 is 10, F inverse 2 is 14. Find the values of A and B. There are two possible solutions. Number one this, and number two this. I explained both of these solutions. I will first explain this solution. So F inverse 2, when you will bring this F inverse here, it will become F of 14. See, F inverse 2 is 14. When you will bring F on other side, it will become F of 14. You just need to put 14 here. So when you will put 14 here, you will get 7 minus A. Therefore, A is 5. Well, you just need to put G of 2. First find G of 2. G of 2 is this. Now put this answer into G. Replace X of G by this answer. So G of 2 is this, and G of 2. So substitute the answer of G of 2 here. So you'll get B. This is the first possible solution. Number 2, method 2. For this method, you have to find Gx first. And you all know how to find Gg. You just replace X of G by G. you replace this x by g, and then you substituted 2 here, and then you got b. Here you have to find f inverse. This is f inverse, and then substitute this thing. This solution is lengthy, and this solution is simple and short. You have option. I prefer this solution, because whenever we have unknown terms, like this is known and this is known, and it's not required to find f inverse x, it's not mentioned here to find f inverse x, the expression of f inverse. So always use this solution and this solution. Well, using these values of a and b, find an expression for g f of x. Now, how to find g of f x? It's very simple. You replace x of g by f. To find g f, we replace f x of g by f. We replace this x by f. So replace this x by f. F is this. So write f here. So this is g of f of x, and c and d are here. This is c and this is d. This question is very simple. You just need to take LCM. When you will take LCM, this will become 1 plus sine theta whole square, and this will become cos theta whole square. Never expand the denominator. Leave the denominator as it is. Expand the numerator. When you will expand this, you will get this thing. Now this will become 1. Sine square plus cos square is 1. So 1 plus 1 makes 2. Take 2 common. Cancel 1 plus sine with 1 plus sine. And the answer is 2 upon cos. This is what we had to show. Hence solve this equation. So you just need to replace this by 2 upon cos theta. This entire thing is 2 upon cos theta. So 2 upon cos theta is equal to 3 upon sine theta. Now do the cross multiplication. And then try, basically you need to bring sine here and 2 here, because you have to convert this in the form of tan. So tan theta is 1.5. Now tan is positive, so it must be in first and third quadrant. And make sure you give your answer in terms of radians, because the domain is in pi. The domain is in radians. So this is the first answer, 0.983, and the second is pi plus 0.983, which is 4.12. And give your answer up to 3 significant figures. Next question, circular measure. ABC is semicircle with diameter AC, radius 6. So this is also 6, this is also 6. The length of arc is 15. So we have radius, we have length of arc, we can easily get this angle. Find the perimeter of the shaded region. So perimeter means sum of the boundaries of the shaded part, meaning perimeter will be this length, this length, this arc, and this length. So we need 3 lengths for perimeter. Arc length, this bx, and this y. We suppose this as y. So for that we need to first solve this triangle. When we will solve this triangle, when we will get this angle, this length and this length, then we will be able to easily get the perimeter. And then we will find this arc as well. So first get this angle. Number 1, get this angle. So we have arc length, we have radius, we can easily get this theta. This theta is 15 upon 6, or 15 upon 6. And this angle will be pi minus theta, because total angle is pi. So this angle is 0.6415. This is 0.6415. 0.6415. Next, now get this length OX and then BX. OX is X. We suppose this as X. So we have to use cos theta in this triangle for OX. So when we will use cos, we'll get OX. OX is 4.8. The total length is 6. So we can easily get Y. Y is 6 minus X. So Y is 1.19. Now get this BX. Use sine theta in this triangle for that. And BX is 3.59. Now for this arc, no, you remember or you know that this total, well, you have two options for this arc. You can either use this formula r theta. You have r, you have theta. You can easily get this arc length, number one. Number two, you can get the arc length in this way. This total is pi r. So pi r minus 15 will give you this arc length. 6 pi minus 15 will give you this arc length. This is one method, and the other method is use this formula. S r theta 6 times 0.6415, which will give you 3.85. So you have both the options. Now perimeter is sum of these lengths, this one, and this one. That's the perimeter. Give your answer up to 3 significant figures. This question is very simple. We need dy upon dx and second derivative. For first derivative, this is the composite function and this is the simple function. Make this power coefficient, subtract this by 1 and take the differential of the bracket, which is minus 2. And the differential of 24x is 24. The simplified form of this is here, minus 6 bracket plus 24. When you will further differentiate this, you will get this thing, minus 12 let me show this thing here, minus 12, 3 minus 2x, 1 minus 2 plus 0. This is the second derivative. I told you this student is very smart. She usually or sometimes she solve the questions directly. So when you will simplify this, you will get this answer. Next part. Find the coordinates of stationary points. You all know at stationary points gradient is 0 because tangent is horizontal. So gradient is 0. We have two possible values of x, half and 5 upon 2. By substituting these two values one by one into equation of curve here, we can get the corresponding values of y. So these are two turning points. Determine the nature of each stationary point. So for that, we need to observe the sign of second derivative at this value of x and then at this value of x. So when we will observe the sign of second derivative at this value, we'll get positive. Second derivative is positive. That means this point is minimum because at this particular value of x, second derivative is positive. Positive means minimum. And at this particular value of x, second derivative is negative. Therefore, this point is maximum. So if second derivative is positive, the point is minimum. If the second derivative is negative, the point is maximum. The coordinates of A and B are this and this. Find the equation of the circle for which AB is diameter. This is so simple. Let's suppose this is a circle and A and B are here. This is A and this is B, and we need equation of circle. First get the distance, this length. Get this length. This is the diameter, AB. So AB is 10. So radius will be 5. After that, get the coordinates of midpoint because the midpoint is the center because this line is diameter. So midpoint is this, 3 and 1. This is the equation of circle with center at AB. So substitute 3 here and 1 here, and radius is 5 square, which is 25. So by substituting the values of x, A and B here and R here, we can get the equation of circle. Find the equation of the tangent T to circle C at point B. Now we need equation of this tangent. This tangent is at B, and we need equation of this tangent. This is so simple. We have the point, we just need the gradient of this line. And we can easily get the gradient of this line with the help of the gradient of this line. These two lines are perpendicular because tangent is always perpendicular to the radius. So first get gradient of this line and take the inverse reciprocal of this gradient to get the gradient of tangent. So gradient of this line is 3 upon 4 and its inverse reciprocal is minus 4 upon 3. And we have the point, we have the gradient, we can easily get the equation. See, gradient is here. This is the gradient of tangent at this point, so we can easily get the equation of tangent. Next part. The next part is find the equation of this circle, which is the reflection of circle C in the line T. Now they are asking find equation of this circle. We need equation of this circle, which is the reflection at T. So when this circle will be reflected at C at this line T, then this center will be here. I mean, the reflection of this point is here. So this will be the midpoint. This is the new center. So the new center is in this point 7 4 is the midpoint of this old center and this new center. The original center center of circle 1, and this is the center of this new circle, the image of this circle. So in order to get this point, you have to use midpoint formula. It's here. B is the midpoint of this circle 1, and C is the point. B is the midpoint of these two centers. So we can easily get coordinates of this center by midpoint formula. So x plus 3 equals to x plus 3 upon 2 is equal to 7, and y plus 1 upon 2 is equal to 4. So x is 11, y is 7. So new center is 7, 11 and 7, and radius is 5. So the equation of new circle will be this. Next question. I hope you have understood this solution. This is the center of new circle, and this is the center of the previous circle, the object, and this is the image, and this is the midpoint. So by using midpoint formula, we can easily get the coordinates of this new center, and we have radius is same, is 5, and this is the equation of the new circle. Question 11. The diagram shows part of the curve y8 upon x plus 2 and the line 2y plus x 8 intersecting at points A and B. The point C lies on the curve. So this point is on the curve and on the line. This is the intersection point of this line and this curve. And tangent at C is parallel to AB. This is the tangent. Tangent at C is parallel to AB. Now we need coordinates of A, B and C. A is very simple since A is on y-axis. So with the help by substituting x0 into this equation, we can get the coordinates of A. So the coordinates of A are 0 and 4. B is the point of intersection of this line and this curve. So by solving these two equations simultaneously, you can get the coordinates of B. Coordinates of B are 6 and 1. C. Tangent at C is parallel to AB. So the gradient of these two lines must be same. Gradient of this line is negative half. Therefore, gradient of this tangent is also negative half. Now, by differentiating this curve and equating the gradient to minus half, we can get the x coordinate of C. See, when you will differentiate this curve, you will get this thing. And you just need to equate dy upon dx to minus half and get the x coordinate. X is 2. Take the positive value of x because this is on right side of the origin. X is positive. So x is 2. By substituting x2 into equation of curve, we can get the y coordinate. So this is the way to get the coordinates of A, B and C. Last part. Find the volume generated when the shaded region bounded by the curve and the line is rotated 360 degree about the x-axis. This is so simple. Get this volume first. Volume bounded under the line, volume rotated by this line, and then volume by this curve, and then subtract these two volumes. Upper minus lower. This is upper line and lower is curve. So volume through curve, a line rotated by line. This is the equation of line, and this is the volume, formula of volume, pi a b y square dx. So pi equation of line square dx. You have both the options. You can directly integrate this or you can expand this. You have both the options because this equation is linear. So you have both the options, either expand this or integrate this directly. This student expanded this equation and then she got this volume. You can say this as V1 or volume by line. This is volume by curve. You have to bring this in numerator and then you can easily integrate this. Now larger minus smaller. Volume of line minus volume of curve. Give your answer in terms of pi. This is the exact answer. I hope this lecture will help you to understand how to solve the papers, P1 papers, and try to solve as many papers as you can, because practice is compulsory to be good at math. An important advice for me and for everyone: be of benefit to others. Good luck. Allah Hafiz.